Hi, everybody. This is Jordan and Holly from Crepe, and we are doing a tutorial on how to design a poster. And this tutorial is for the Crepe conference, but you could also use it for any other conferences that you attend or present a poster at. So I have given lots of posters over the years. Holly has given a few too. We've done them in person. We've done them virtually. Our last Crepe poster was a virtual poster. You're going to be preparing, if you're presenting at CrepeCon, a virtual poster as well. And I just want to give you some tips on how they're put together, and different, things that you can do to highlight what you want to emphasize for your audience. If you're presenting at CrepeCon, you're probably going to be presenting either the results of or a proposal to do a Crepe project. So here's an example of a poster that I built in Canva a long time ago. And Canva is CANVA. It's an app where you can do different like infographics and do graphic design. And what I did for this was this was actually going to be, this is wrong up here. The title for it is wrong. This was a poster that I gave at Midwestern Psych Association in 2019, I think, or 2018. And they have a poster size that they tell you they want you to follow in the instructions to presenters. And so what I did was I created just a 42-inch by 36-inch poster. That's also the size of our poster printer too, I think. So it's 42 inches wide and 36 inches tall. And then the font size makes a little bit more sense once you have it sized out to exactly where you need. So you can see that it's about 33% zoom right now. If we zoom out to 100% ish, this is going to be the size that the poster would be if somebody were standing in front of it. So you can see, this is 23-point font. That's probably about as small as you want to go. You may want to sit away from your screen a little bit to see if you can still read those if you're giving a presentation in person. When you're doing it virtually and people can like zoom in and stuff like that, it makes it a little bit easier. You're not quite as restricted to different font sizes. So the way I built this was, and I did this after preparing lots of posters over the years, was I knew all of the elements that had to go on the poster. So I put my university's logo, which I found online. Usually your university has like a really good high quality logo that they can share with you somewhere. So if you can't find that anywhere on the website, then email like your marketing office to try to find, a good high quality logo that's not all pixelated. The title was here, the authors were here. We didn't put the abstract on the poster. I'll show you an example of where I have done that before. And then we put the sections that sort of made the most sense to us. So we have a section that talks about the crepe and what the crepe process is. And this was many years ago before people knew much about the crepe. This is the study we replicated with some descriptions of the stimuli, and then our sample questions, some of our stats. We were presenting the results from multiple sites that collected data. So I have a summary table here with the original highlighted in yellow. And then here I have forest plots of, whether people thought that the man with the red background was more attractive versus the man with a gray background. And anything that lines up along the middle shows that there was no effect. And so that was just like a nice little forest plot for us to have. It was very high tech at the time. That's a lie, it wasn't. So, and then here are the different questions, the different statistical analyses. And really, there's not a ton of information on here because what you want to do with the poster is really focus on what you're saying to the other person and not, all of the words that are on the poster. So then we had a section on future directions. We have our references and our acknowledgements, and those are good sections to have in a poster as well, but they can be a lot smaller because people don't necessarily have to really see those. Some people make the abstract a little smaller too. And I have all sorts of different examples of posters. Let's see. this is the poster that Holly and I presented at the Psych Terms conference. And, you know, as you can see, like there are a lot of different types of things that you can do. Um, we both tend to think that it is more straightforward to just get started if you haven't done a poster before on PowerPoint or Google Slides. And so that's where we're going to start with you. So now you could just go into PowerPoint and create a presentation. So let's say you just create a blank presentation and you delete all this stuff and you resize it. So it's the size, like let's say you want to give a poster that would be, you know, 42 by 36 inches. So you would go to slide size, design, and then slide size, and then go to page setup. And here you would put, you know, 42 inches wide, 36 inches tall, and hit OK. You're converting to a larger slide size. Do you want to scale content up? We have no content, so sure. Okay, and this would be roughly the shape of your poster. And this is 42 inches, right? And this would be, or sorry, this would be 42 inches, and this would be 36. Did I get that backward? 42 inches wide and 36 inches tall. Okay. And so here you could just start plopping things in, right? So you could get a shape. You could say like, this is where your title would be. And then you would put some text in there. I don't know. I obviously don't use this very often. Okay, so here is my title. It's very small. Let's make that larger. So let's make that a 50-point font. Could probably be larger than that. And let's change the font because nobody likes Calibri. You might like it. I don't know. So here's your title. And then you can kind of fill in the background of the shape with a color if you want. So you could make it gray. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if you have a printer and you're printing this out, you want to avoid a lot of like dark colors because it'll use up a lot of ink. But this is a virtual poster, and so you can use a lot of colors. You don't have to have like this dull gray background. You can, but you could have like your school colors. You could have an outline as well. And then you can continue to put sort of text boxes and lines and shapes and stuff in here until you have the poster you want. I have found that it is nice to rely on templates when you can. And so one of the things that I recommend doing is Googling PowerPoint poster template. One of the first sites that pops up is Free Research Poster PowerPoint Templates. And if you click on this, they have a tutorial of how to design a poster, but then they also have templates that you can use. So they have a virtual poster, which is odd. Virtual poster presentation. Here we go. So you can download. This is if you're putting it on a screen. You know, this is what folks would see if you had like a monitor next to you at a conference. I actually think it's better for virtual conferences to really do something that would otherwise be, you know, probably 36 by 48. So 36 inches tall by 48 inches wide. So you can download the template here. You can also look at poster samples. Maybe. Well, maybe not. Okay, so here's the template. And here they have a spot for the title, they have a spot for the authors and affiliations. They also have quick start guides on the side that will not print. So you can zoom in to these and it'll give you important tips. So this PowerPoint produces a 36 by 48 presentation poster. This is how to zoom in and out. This is how to use the ruler and the guides. When you move boxes around, they'll line up with each other, so you can kind of see when they're locked in, when they're centered on things. It tells you how to add content, how to add photos, how to check your graphics for quality. And then there's lots of other helpful information over here, how to change colors and column layouts, how to hide the quick start guide bars from the sides. So you click on the home tab and then layout, and then you click on without guides, and that goes away. So you no longer have those. But if we want to have those guides with us, then we just click back on it. And then you hit F5 to preview it before you print, but you don't need to print it. So you just want people to be able to read it on your monitor. So this is a good size poster for people to read on their monitor. If I make it full screen, you can pretty much read everything that's on this poster that isn't being hidden by my Zoom boxes. There isn't a lot of like zooming in or out that's going to be required of you. So this is something really important to keep in mind, is like you want something that's going to look good to somebody when it's just taking up their whole monitor. And you want to be able to exit from it. There we go. Okay. So if I were to create a poster using this template, zoom in, I would start by saying, this is a replication of Pennycook et al. Whatever their year was, I forget what it is, at Avila University. And then if this went down to multiple lines, I could just make it smaller. I'm going to change. I really don't like Calibri. Maybe it's just me. Here's where I would add the authors. So this would be Holly, but then, you don't have to do it in APA style. Holly France. And then let's say we have other people in our lab who want to present as well. I just picked one of them. And then, and this would be Avila University, Kansas City, Missouri. It's very important we tell people that. I could put my different logos on each side of this. And then here I could say, okay, this is going to be my introduction. Or you could put your abstract here, which is, a 200-ish word summary of your project. But let's say we want to put the introduction. The introduction could be, whatever format your end of term paper follows or anything like that. So I have my students all write papers that hit multiple points. So one of them is like, why is replication important? Another one is, what is CRAPE? And another one is a summary of the study, right? So I might delete this. And then this is all very small too. So, let's say we want this to be a little bit bigger. First, we want to highlight it. Okay. And then here, this might be our method section. Okay, so make that a little bit bigger too. And then we would fill in like how we collected the data, what methods we used, our population, our sample, how we excluded people, if we added any extension hypotheses, anything like that. Results, if you actually collected data, this is where you would put, like you would paste pictures of any graphs you got. So and make sure those are high quality images too. As many visuals as you can have, the better. And then here's where your discussion would be, here's where your references would be, and here's your acknowledgements at the end. And you can put borders around these things. You know, you can have a text box where you type stuff in, and then you can create, you know, a border around that with a shape. And if you send it to the back, this will appear on top. You know, you can center it in the box by moving that around and then hitting center. So you can have like just backgrounds of different text boxes and stuff like that. And you can find lots of examples online. I think it's important to remember that you want to avoid having tons of print. I avoid using complete sentences whenever possible, because really poster presentations are meant to be walked through with somebody by the person who's presenting them. So the poster should make sense on its own, but it really doesn't need to be your paper copied and pasted into columns. And you can find some great examples of good posters online. So that is our quick little mini workshop on creating a poster. If you have any questions, please email crepe.psych@gmail.com, and we are happy to give you help or jump on a Zoom with you and help you get your poster ready for this conference. So good luck, and we'll see you soon.